It is Monday, December 21st. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet HomeLoans. And now, newly crowned president of the Frank Gore Fan Club, J.P. Shadrick.
As I said last night, he's number 21 in your program, number 3 in the all-time rushing list, but number 1 in your heart. Welcome in, Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet HomeLoans, J.P. Shadrick, and we have quite a show for you today. Pete Prisco and Tony Boselli, as always, are standing by. We'll have a Jaguars-Ravens review, as ugly as it was. 40-14 the final score. We'll break it down. Jets, Jets. They knocked off the Rams in the 4 o'clock window yesterday. 2 games remaining. Social media questions, and boy, were there a bunch of them today. We'll go around the NFL as well. Let's start with the Jaguars' loss in Week 15. 13 losses in a row now, 40-14 loss to the Ravens. After the opening interception, the Ravens scored 6 of the next 7 possessions to run away with it. Minshew struggled in the first half, better in the second half when the game was out of reach. The defense didn't have much bite at all yesterday. Then in the 4 p.m. window, a stunning upset. The Jets over the Los Angeles Rams. They were 17-point favorites in the game. Frank Gore was a hero. 23 carries, 59 yards, a touchdown, but his 6-yard reception got the final first down to melt the clock away. And now the Jaguars have the inside path to the number 1 overall pick, an identical record to the Jets, but the worst strength of schedule as the tiebreaker for now. 2 games to go. What does this all mean, though, to Doug Marrone? He was asked about it today, and guess what? It doesn't mean much to him. He's still trying to break this losing streak.
Well, I mean, no one's advised me, you know what I'm saying, anything different than to go out there and win. So I understand, you know, I guess from a standpoint of, I mean, I was young growing up, you know, and had a favorite team and, you know, was excited to see where they were going to pick. So it's not something, you know, Mike, that I look back and I understand. But, you know, I mean, Jesus, I mean, we're trying to win. I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can. And, you know, that's my job right now. And I owe it to the coaches and players. None of us are going to, you know, look at this and in the future.
Head coach Doug Marrone today on an audio call with the media this afternoon. We welcome in Pete Prisco and Tony Boselli. And Pete, good afternoon. What do you think about all that?
What do you mean? It's something I've been saying since October. Jets, Jets. I mean, now I saw a video or a tweet that Hicken and Brett Martineau went out and did a Jet. They copied me. Everybody's copying me.
By the way, that was embarrassing.
It really was. But
because here's the thing. Okay, here's the deal.
Here he's going to play the player's side of things.
No, I'm not going to. Pete, we said it before we came on the air. If you're going to stink all the way as bad as possible so you get the first overall pick. But it's not a good place to be in. Let's be honest. And it's not good for an organization where you have the fans rooting for one thing, which is to lose, and they didn't care that they got beat by the Ravens yesterday. They didn't care. In fact, they were probably happy it was not even close, so they didn't have to worry about winning. And they're more concerned about the Jets and them winning and everything else. That's what this fan base cares about right now. And for the last 2 games, they're going to be rooting for the Jaguars to lose. And then on the other, I agree, and I'm not saying that's wrong, by the way. On the other side, you have the head coaching staff and the players fighting like hell to win a football game. So you literally have, and by the way, my guess is if like people in the organization were honest, it's probably certain people in the organization are hoping that they get to make sure they keep that overall first pick. And so it's just not where you want to be is my whole point, Pete.
Well, don't worry about it. You won't be there again for another decade. Don't worry about it.
Well,
after this year, no. After this decade, you're not going to. After this year, you're not going to worry about it again for at least another decade. Do not worry about it. You will not be picking first for another decade.
Well, and all this is, I'm not convinced they're going to be picking first.
What are you talking about? That team, and somebody said to me, "Oh, maybe they'll rest some players so they'll sit some players." They could play full tilt and not beat the Bears.
It didn't matter much yesterday.
Well, I don't know about that because listen, the Jets were 17-point dogs and won. Let's just to keep putting that in perspective. The Jaguars are only 7.5-point dogs
At home
against the Bears.
It's really like different. A 10 and 11-point underdog.
No, it's not.
3-point for home field, maybe a little less now with no fans. But come on, Tony, stop it. Just stop it. And by the way, I will take the other side of this. If I'm Doug Marrone and I'm getting the boot after the season, I'm going to do everything I can to stick it to the organization. I'm running reverses and onside kicks and doing anything. It still isn't going to matter, but I would do everything and anything that I could to try and win the game. But they're not winning the game. They're not winning against the Colts. And the franchise was forever changed on a 4th down incompletion in Los Angeles on Sunday. Bask in it, enjoy it. You understand why the fan base is excited. Tony, this is a generational quarterback.
Oh, Pete, I'm not against the fans being excited.
You sounded like
no. I said I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of being here. To your point, if you're asking me, if I was being just completely brutally honest, do I want us to win the last 2 games and forfeit the right to have the first overall pick? No. Let's be honest. I mean, I could sit here and lie to everyone and say, yeah, go win. I want to win, everything else. In a perfect world, what I'd love to happen is for the Jets to win the next 2 games, the Bengals to win the next 2 games, and for the Jags to win the next 2 games. So we still have the last pick. Because there's something inside of me that hates losing. But at the same time, I'm with you. By having the first overall pick, if Trevor Lawrence is who everyone thinks he is and what we think he is, that changes the trajectory if you can keep him healthy for the next decade.
By the way, what the fans need to root for is for Clemson to lose their first playoff game so he doesn't have to play 2 more. Let's get him out of there.
Never thought about it like that, Pete.
It's like bubble. Like everyone's like, "Hey, how do we bubble wrap?"
Bubble wrap him, yeah. Get him to Jacksonville. Lose 2. Get him he loses his playoff game. He's healthy. You get him to Jacksonville, and on you go with your decade of having a franchise generational quarterback. And by the way, I have a couple other ways to fix the franchise. We'll get into that today too. But it's incredible that the city can be lifted. So people are sending out tweets with pictures.
It's amazing.
That's what bothers me, guys. It's not that I'm happy the fans are excited. I'm happy it took us to continue to lose and the Jets to win for this place to be excited about football again. That's my whole point. Is that's not where you want to be as an organization. That's not good.
But you know what it is? You know why it's not? It's better than being 6-10 for mediocrity and maybe winning a 9-win season. This way, you're going to be competitive for a decade. If he's on the field, he'll be competitive for a decade. You might have 3 seasons in that decade where you have a legitimate chance to be a Super Bowl team and winner. You know, being 6.
Okay,
Tony, being 6-10, 7-9, 9-7.
I agree with it. That's like no man's land. I agree with that point that you're making. I wanted to add some realism to this conversation. That team we watched this year on the football field, that team we watched them Sunday play against the Ravens, is not a quarterback away from being a contender. Let's be clear.
I have other ways to fix
other plans.
But I want to make sure everyone listening and everyone all excited, we're going to get Trevor Lawrence. The world is fixed. We're winning the Super Bowl. There's a lot of work to do on that team because it's not a talented roster.
No, but we're going to fix it today, too. We're going to give the plan.
Wow.
See, because everybody has the Trevor Lawrence part of it. We know that. But I got a plan. And I have a plan to fix the team when it comes to that roster and the money I'm going to spend. We're going to fix that team.
Pete, I was driving out of here yesterday and
He's shaking his head.
I'm looking at him.
I'm shaking my head because we'll probably agree like 98% of what you're going to say.
So that's a smart man.
It's just the way you say it.
Right.
I got the plan. Like somehow it's this mysterious thing. Let me just give you the highlights of the plan. Get the quarterback. protect the quarterback, rush the quarterback, and go find a corner to cover the receivers.
That's his
plan.
I came up with that plan years ago when you were playing in the league.
But that's your plan. I'm just make no mistake.
I actually got names associated to plan.
I can give you the names too. You want me to give you the names?
Go ahead.
I'll wait to do it with you. You're a beauty, though.
Wow.
Fix the team.
Yeah, I was saying, I crossed the bridge leaving here yesterday. I was looking out for the barges with all the fireworks, Pete. I didn't see them on the river last night. Like, I thought they were going to come out after the Jets game.
They're going to have those in week 17 when it actually goes to.
I see. When it becomes official.
When it hits 0 for the last time and they lose, they're going to have fireworks.
But you know what, though? Tony's right. We've seen strange things happen.
What'd you say, JP?
We've seen strange things happen. Like, to Tony's point a minute ago, like, they can come out and win. It's not crazy. Oh, gosh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
If only the Colts hadn't lost the game where they didn't punt.
That's incredible.
And remember those 2-point plays that everybody, best thing to happen was they didn't convert them. I mean, and you know what? Here's what compounds the entire thing. Justin Fields was awful on Saturday.
Not good.
I mean,
I'm not. Pete, you and I talked about it a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Before this game, that we weren't sure he's the guy.
And so that compounded the news of yesterday and the happenings of yesterday.
Now, it's one game, Pete. I mean, the guy could come out in playoffs and play well.
It's been Tony's right. There's been some moments where you look at him and you go, okay. But think about that. In one day, he plays. You have your doubts, and I'm sitting there on Sunday morning before the game started. I say, "Boy, Jacksonville's going to be in a tough situation because they're going to almost be forced to take a quarterback at 2. But who are you taking?" And then all that happens, and now you're picking first. Don't mess it up. Don't win.
Remember, Lamar Jackson had 4 interceptions in his final college game here in the Gator Bowl, too. By the way, it turned out okay.
Well, he wasn't known for his passing either, JP. It still isn't known for his passing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and to be clear, Justin Fields is not the dynamic athlete that Lamar Jackson is.
Correct. Just throwing it out there. You can have a bad day.
You admit you watched the game on Saturday when you saw Justin Fields. You're going, oh no, another first-round bust quarterback picked in the top 10.
And what about the Indiana game a few weeks ago? He wasn't very good there either. He had 3 picks.
Yeah. And so now you've taken all that out of the equation, all of it, every bit of it. And now the Jets are left into that situation. The Jets have to decide, do we stick with Sam Darnold? Do we think these other guys are better? Should we take Justin Fields? Maybe trade down and get Zach Wilson, add extra picks. They're the ones making all those decisions. Jacksonville makes an easy decision. Don't win in the next 2 weeks and you pick Trevor Lawrence. Franchise fixed. It's over. It's done.
All right, we're going to come back and see about the rest of the team, too. Pete has to have some other ideas.
Well, should we even talk about the Ravens game? I mean,
briefly.
It was such a...
Briefly.
I mean, it was such a... I mean, the funny thing is that's not the story today. The story is not the Ravens game.
No.
The story is the Jets game.
Oh. What happened in the Jets game above is the headline. Down here you have, oh, by the way, they lost another game, and here's what happened in that game.
And they were blown out, and we'll get to that when we come back. We'll get to your social questions in the second hour. Plenty ahead. An eventful day has just started here on Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
The best thing about working at Fair & Farah is all of the employees. We all work together. It's extremely enjoyable to come to work every day.
There's a common cause or goal. No matter what your job is, we're all there for the client.
We are dedicated to our clients 100%. We do everything it takes to maximize the value of their claims.
Fair & Fair is really the Farah family. When they choose us, they choose a family to fight for them and to protect them and to make sure that they're in a good place and that they have somebody on their side.
Farah & Farah, here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the large format printing services running in high gear, creating large banners for marketing events, full vehicle wraps. Learn how Kessler changes the game with print and direct mail innovation. From eye-catching restaurant menus to real estate yard signs and event displays, Kessler does it all. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Dr. Patrick Basil of Basil Plastic Surgery and Wellness. I'm a proud veteran of the U.S. Navy, and during my active duty time, I had the amazing privilege to serve our country and those who were wounded in combat. Helping my patients return to a normal life, I was able to provide an unparalleled level of care, which I've carried over to my own private practice today. As the official plastic surgeon of the Jaguars, I invite you to visit us at patrickbasilmd.com and would like to wish the Jags best of luck in today's game.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Jaguars Happy Hour is presented in part by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good.
We're back. Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans after the Week 15 loss for the Jags in Baltimore. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, and the Jaguars have made a roster move just a few moments ago. Punter Logan Cook has been placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. And then they have signed to the practice squad punter Cameron Nizelek. He was with Baltimore and Atlanta. He had a stint in the AAF with the Atlanta Legends. He went to Columbia University and the University of Georgia for a year. So there you go. The move, the transaction moments ago. Logan Cook missed yesterday's game, of course, and they had to use Aldrich Roses to punt the ball a few times. What is going on in the background? I'm going to guess that's...
Yeah, what is that, Tony?
That's Tony.
What, is there noise?
Yeah.
Oh, it's my whole family's here. It's nuts. Well, let me shut this door.
Where are you?
I'm at my dad's house. I got my dad, my stepmom, my brother, my nephews, my nieces, all 7 of my kids, my wife, and they're the loudest human beings in the world. I'm trying to work. This is a job. You can hear my brother.
You sound like you're in a factory where there's like a bunch of workers downstairs yelling up at the boss.
That's what they're doing. Let me shut this door.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. I appreciate that. So, hey, the offense, let's touch on yesterday's game. The offense was nowhere to be found in the first half, and they weren't really much to be found in the second half, too. They were so far behind that the yardage came in the second half of the game to get back in it. No, they didn't get back in it. They got down the field a couple times and scored. But
get back, JP, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
back in what?
I misspoke, Tony.
You know what they call that, JP? Garbage time.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, anyway, They certainly were not very good at all in the first half. Gardner Minshew didn't look great. They couldn't run the ball. James Robinson had arguably his worst day in terms of running the ball yesterday, and that's what this is going to be, it feels like.
I don't think it's arguably his worst day. It was his worst day. It averaged under 2.5 yards a carry. He never got anything going. They completely shut him down from the start. You know, he just never got it going. I mean, I'm not putting it all on him. I put it on the offensive line to start with. I didn't see any movement, no seams. They were trying to run off the edge, towards the edges, off tackle, maybe some outside stretch. They got nothing going there. It was bad. I mean, when you only get 61 yards of total offense in the first half in today's NFL, that is just putrid. It's bad. And they were out of sorts from the beginning. Started with the first drive. Defense gets a turnover, does a good job on the Josh Jones interception, and then, next thing you know, it's a safety after 2 plays. So nothing good to talk about.
No feel for the quarterback identifying who's coming either. I mean, he has no idea who. Those are easy things to see. He doesn't see them. It's not a good. He's a bad quarterback. I mean, whatever happened last year, they should call it Minshew magic, because that's what it was. It wasn't mania. It was magic. It will never happen again. It was just, he's bad. He's not a good quarterback. Look, I don't want to pile on the kid, but the reality is.
Whoa. You don't want to pile on the kid.
I don't want to pile on with it, but he's terrible. He's no good.
Well, what do you want me to say? You want me to sugarcoat it?
No.
How would you describe his play?
Time out, Pete. Just time out. I'm not saying you have to sugarcoat anything. You never sugarcoat anything.
No.
But don't bury the kid.
Well, I'm not saying it's never going to be I'm never going to.
Stop. Don't bury the kid and then go, but I don't want to pile on.
Well, I'm not going to pile on and say he shouldn't be in the league. I'm not going to go that far.
Okay, should he be the backup here?
No, absolutely not.
Where's he going to go? What are we doing?
He can't be the backup behind a young quarterback. I just don't think it works. He's not that.
I agree with that.
Okay, so then when you laughing at me, you ask me the question, and I answer it honestly, and you look at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm laughing at you because of your comments of just burying the kid.
I don't know him. I don't care. It's not personal. It's just from a football standpoint, he's not very good.
Pete, no one said it was personal.
Okay,
I'm laughing at your comments.
You want me to bury him? He stinks. Bury him. He's not good. I mean, they've had bad quarterbacks in their history, and he's one of the worst. You might have had backup quarterbacks on your team in the mid-'90s who did way better.
Would you take him or Jamie Martin?
I take Jamie Martin. Would you take him or Jay Fiedler?
Jay Fiedler.
Would you take him or Rob Johnson?
Rob Johnson.
Take him or Steve Berline?
Steve Berline.
Okay, so there's 4 backups on your teams, and you had Steve Matthews. Would you take him?
No.
But we don't want to pile on the kid. We don't want to pile on.
Take him over Steve Matthews. But that's the point, JP. Whatever they got out of him last year, it was magic.
He never should have played last year.
Okay, so you don't play him for a year, and then he's ready to become a starter?
No, I'm just saying.
Aaron Rodgers is going to sit for 4 years and 3 years and be ready to play? He's never going to be ready to play.
Well, that was
he's a backup at best.
Right, but he shouldn't have played last year. The only reason he played is because Nick got hurt. That was it. Or he wouldn't have played at all.
Job. They kept him in there.
Right.
Well, the big thing is, Pete, here's the problem. And it is what it is now. We don't have to rehash this because, if everything keeps along the path that we hope and think, they're going to have the first overall pick. They're going to pick Trevor Lawrence, and, hopefully everything in the world will be right. But here's the reality. The fact that they didn't aggressively go get a quarterback in this year's draft, it really is – I don't want to say there's no excuse for it, but they thought Minshew was the answer. And that's what drives me crazy is like, how do you not, like, if you want to try it, like you're saying, maybe, but how do you not then go make a move and do homework? And especially after what we've seen in Justin Herbert and some of these other guys, how do you not make a move with 2 first-rounders to see if you can get one of those guys?
That was the move to make. If you were going to make a move, you were going to go up and get Justin Herbert. You play Minshew for a game, get him out, and Herbert's in. That's what you would have done. That was the move to make. 2-1s, go up and get Herbert. But you didn't. So now the next best thing you fall into this because you didn't get one. So it worked. If they don't win another game, it will work out for the best.
Well, man, here's a question, and we'll have this conversation. I mean, you and I might not have. I guess maybe next year, God willing, we're all still doing this thing we love and covering football. Will Trevor Lawrence be as good as Justin Herbert his rookie year?
Yes.
That's big, though. Think about that. Justin Herbert has been outstanding.
He's going to be every bit. And Joe Burrow would have been outstanding, too, if he had played the entire season. His numbers were going to be good, too.
Not as good as Herbert.
No. But Herbert has better receivers. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't think Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and
first of all, Mike Williams has been hurt all year.
Hunter Henry.
Henry's been hurt a bunch. No, I think go look at Cincinnati's receiving group. They're pretty dang good.
Well, Tyler Boyd's a good player. J.J. Green's been okay.
Higgins or whatever. Higgins.
He's been okay. Yeah.
Been really good.
Yeah, I mean, but Burrow would have put up big numbers too.
I'm not saying he wouldn't have.
So will Trevor Lawrence be as good as Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert in his first year?
I'm saying
my plan. With my plan, he will be.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Give me 3 other moves you'll make on offense, Pete. After the
I'd sign Hunter Henry. I'd get rid of the left tackle.
Hold on. What? Back up. You say sign Hunter Henry like it's a done deal, like the Chargers.
I'm saying tag him.
Like the Chargers aren't going to try to get him.
Well, they might not tag him though. So if they don't tag him, if I don't tag him, I go get him. Go get Hunter Henry. Get rid of the left tackle. See ya. And go get a veteran, maybe if you have to. Trent Williams will be on the market. Is he an upgrade? Damn right he is. He's a veteran.
You don't think San Francisco's going to keep him?
Well, they try to, but that's what you got a lot of cap room, Tony. You have the ability to go after guys if you want to. I would explore interior linemen like Joe Thuney from the Patriots. Really good player. Yeah, you're shaking your head. Why, is he better than Norwell? You got an affinity for Norwell, so you'll say no.
I'm asking you. Do you think he's better than Norwell?
Yes. And I think the price of Norwell is expensive too.
That's fair.
Okay.
But getting rid of, it's a math exercise, so I just don't have it in front of me. Is letting Norwell go, eating his dead money, and then paying Thuney to get him.
He's younger.
I understand that, but I'm saying when you look at the cap number, it means
I get that. No, I know, but there's a way to do it. You can finagle it. You know how the cap works, Tony. You can make it work any way you want to.
No,
okay.
You can.
Okay, so and then I draft either Rondell Moore or Tony from Florida in the second round to add a quick speed element to the offense. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know who Rondell Moore is from Purdue. He opted out this year, but he's a phenomenal little receiver, much like Tyreek Hill, or it's Tony. You've watched Tony all year. That kid's phenomenal. So you add that to what you have. You get Henry. About. So your offensive line is pretty much Taylor, AJ Can. If you want to keep Linder, maybe a left guard, maybe Norwell, but a veteran left tackle. Then in free agency on defense, I signed Leonard Williams for sure. I'm unloading on Leonard Williams. I might add Trey Hendrickson. I don't know if you watched that game yesterday, but Eric Fisher couldn't handle him. Those are 2 pieces. And then I would use my second first-round pick on the best available player at any other position. Maybe another defensive line. Maybe another corner. Maybe, you know what I mean? Somebody, a playmaker. So if I send this offense onto the field in week 1, Trent Williams is my left tackle. I'll keep Norwell. Linder, Can, Taylor, Hunter Henry, Rondell Moore, DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, Colin Johnson, James Robinson behind Trevor Lawrence. Is that a good offense?
I mean, on paper, I mean that's fun, Pete. I mean, I'm all about like just naming names, but the one thing about free agency is you don't just get to say they're coming here. And so the question is, let me give you a couple of the other side. By the way, I love all the players. Fine. I'm not disagreeing with anything and how you're thinking about it. Hunter Henry is injury prone his entire life. I mean, he has been one injury after another. So how much are you going to invest in him when his availability has not been great in his career?
He's only 26.
Okay, I'm just telling you though, Pete. Go look at games played compared to years of service. Not real good. Multiple blown out knees. I mean, he's got some.
He played in all 14 this year, though.
I'm just telling you. Am I wrong about that?
No, he's had some injuries.
Okay. So the other thing you have to think about free agency is how many guys are you going to overpay, because you have to overpay in free agency, just the way it is. So you're going to overpay Henry, Trent Williams, Hendrickson, and Leonard Williams.
Won't be that much. Hendrickson won't be a big dollar ticket.
But you're going to pay more than they're worth because
Right.
it's free agency. So you're going to overpay for all four of those guys?
Maybe, or at least three of them. I'm not saying you're going to get them all. The other option would be to draft a tackle with a second first-round pick, which also was helped out, by the way, with the Rams losing yesterday.
Yeah.
But you think a rookie tackle would have a tough?
I actually like, because how old's Trent Williams? 30?
33.
33. So he probably has
3 more years.
4 more years. I actually like the play, excuse me, of a Trent Williams as your left tackle. Because it's such a deep draft with tight ends.
Right.
Go draft a tight end. With
You can do that. You can do that. That's another option. I like that too. You take Trent Williams as your left tackle and you draft. You're not going to get Pitts with that second first-round pick, but you might get the kid. I don't know if you guys have seen Hunter Long from Boston College. Heck of a player.
Good player.
You know, you got the kid at Penn State. There are tight ends available. Yes. So that's another option. Just leave Henry alone, pay the left tackle, and go draft a tight end.
And by the way, all the best tight ends in football right now, are any of them first rounders?
No.
None of them. None of them.
No, you talk about Waller. They found him on the street. You got Kelsey.
Right. Kelsey.
No.
Middle,
Kittle.
Gronk,
No.
Kittle. No. They're all in the middle of the round.
Hey, let's come back, guys.
I mean, I guess. Fant's pretty good for Denver. He was a first rounder.
Yeah.
Right. And the kid from Hawkinson's pretty good from Detroit.
Yeah.
He was the first. So, but you could. But again, though, you're like, I saw one of our guys at CBS. I love him. He did a mock draft. He had Kyle Pitts going 4th overall. You're not drafting a tight end 4th overall. You're just not going to do it. His name's Kelsey.
Let's come back. Defensive talk when we return. We'll flip it around, see what the defense did yesterday, and see what we'll do in the offseason, according to Pete Prisco. Your social questions in the second hour. Jaguars Happy Hour, presented by Jet HomeLoans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Hey Jags fans, did you know you can ride your bike to every Jaguars home game at TIAA Bank Field and valet park it for free? That's right. Stop by our bicycle check-in tent, sponsored by Alert Today Florida, near Gate 1 at TIAA Bank Field. An on-duty ZenCog bike professional will park your bike and ensure it's secured during the game. When the game's over, return your claim ticket and pick up your bike. For cycling safety tips, visit alerttodayflorida.com. Remember, Alert Today, alive tomorrow, because safety doesn't happen by accident.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for the best barbecue in town. That is Bono's. Head to Bono's today. 15 locations on the First Coast and 6 more at TIAA Bank Field. You see, Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Plenty of parking, clean family restaurants, and oh, by the way, the best barbecue you have ever had. So if you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today, the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Happy Hour is presented in part by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. Next Grill, everyone's invited. And Adecco. Visit AdeccoUSA.com.
Welcome back. Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The day after a loss to the Ravens, 40-14 final score. I'm at TIAA Bank Field. Pete Prisco looks like he's at his home studio, and Tony Boselli is in the woods in Colorado somewhere, it looks like, with the nice trees behind him. Is it snowing?
No, it is not snowing. I'm actually in Boulder, Colorado, and right on the golf course. So let me show you the golf course right there.
Okay, if you're watching on Jag's Facebook, oh yeah, look at that. Did you play yet?
Too cold to play, I bet.
It's way too cold.
He's probably worn out from last week's round on Monday that he played.
Yeah, that's right. You can get another round in on Monday, like you did last Monday.
So I didn't go last week and play golf. Enough, knuckleheads.
Hey, Tony, the whole brood is out there. Everybody?
Yeah, all 7 of us.
And you're all in that house?
All in this house.
Oh my God! Your dad, everybody's going nuts. I bet.
Yeah, it's day 1 of 6 days, so I'm still making it. And
it's the Christmas. It's everybody out there for the holidays. I get it.
And his birthday is Christmas Day, so we're gonna, celebrate his birthday and Christmas and the whole deal. So
I can't wait to see how much food you shovel into that mouth over the next 6 days.
Well, it's going to be a lot. We actually, so today my dad and my, for 23 years, they've packed like turkey dinners and gave it to like homeless shelters and churches and everything else. So we went over there this morning to his office, and me and all my kids, all my nieces and nephews, brothers and sisters and everything, and packed 500 turkey dinners in boxes and sent them off to different people. So that was good.
Cool.
So while he's packing it, one over here, one over here.
Oh, a roll.
There was no eating. Over here. There was no eating of the turkey dinners. There might have been a few sweet rolls in the office that I might have partaken in.
You know what? We're at that time of the year where we're all saying, January 1st is right around the corner.
Yeah, we'll start again.
It is so true. Like I find myself like making allowances for me to eat more bad food because I'm like, I'll go on a diet Jan first.
You're going to go outside and work out in that cold, aren't you? Probably not.
No.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. So.
All right, let's get to the defensive side yesterday because we must. That didn't go well either, by the way. They had the interception on the opening drive, but the penalty during the return got it back to the 1 yard line. Then 2 plays later, there was a safety. But the totals yesterday, Schobert had 12 tackles, led the way. Jared Wilson, that's never good when your free safety has 10 solo tackles. And then Miles Jack had another 10 tackles yesterday. DeJuan Smoot had a sack. But there's not a lot positive defensively yesterday, let's be honest. They did slow down the running game of Lamar Jackson. That was a focus, obviously, but it opened up everything else, it felt like.
Yeah, I think the biggest positive is the fact that at halftime, Lamar Jackson had 5 carries for 3 yards. The problem was you were down 26-0. And so you did bottle up, and they had a good game plan. I thought they tackled in the open field well against Lamar Jackson, but the play action pass really hurt them. There's guys running wide open in the middle of the field. We knew that was going to be an issue. And then just the simple off-tackle plays. They just ran downhill with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and they were physical. So they really didn't need Lamar Jackson and his legs to get it going. I mean, they pretty much handled it and dominated the line of scrimmage from get-go. I mean,
Did you watch the tape?
No. I got on the plane, flew out got here late last night, and then stuffing turkeys today.
I watched the game. I haven't watched the tape, but I was just looking at PFF's grades, and they've been high on Miles Jack all year long as one of the top. They have him as the lowest rated defensive player on the team yesterday.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't watch the tape yet, so I don't want to comment of why.
And they have Giles Harris is the number 1 ranked player on the team.
Yeah, not as many reps. I mean, Sam.
Yeah, he only played 26 snaps. It goes like this: Giles Harris, Gostis, Smoot, Claybrooks, Herndon, Bryan, who only played 16 snaps, Reed, Costin. So some of the, like Chason, another bad grade. Schobert, bad grade.
Well, I think some of the interesting things, just as I was reflecting on the defensive game, and we haven't made much about it, in the last 3 weeks, Taven Bryant, a former first-round pick of 3 years ago, has played 16 snaps, 17 snaps, and 16 snaps.
Yeah.
Non-factor. I forgot he was almost playing yesterday. I mean, you talk about – you look at that defense, and we talked about the draft and everything else, as far as how do you rebuild it and what do you do, and you talk, obviously, all the attention and energy is around Trevor Lawrence, as it should be, by the way. I mean, no kidding. I mean, that's the best player in college football. But the defense, you have a lot of work to do in that front seven. You hope Josh Allen can come back. You've been out with him for most of the year. They don't have anyone who can affect the quarterback by winning one-on-one very well. Juan Smoot's probably their best one, if you really look at it. And so you need to figure out, because I thought this is where you were going to go when you started talking building this roster. Obviously you go quarterback, but then obviously you talked about protecting the quarterback and in the offensive line, control line of scrimmage. But then defensively, I would say it's 3 main positions, maybe 4. You need an edge rusher. You need a corner. You need a linebacker who can run. They got that. And then really you need an interior rusher. If you get those 4 out of the 11, you can fill in the rest of the spots. And I say that. So how many of those 4 key ones, edge rusher, inside rusher, linebacker, corner, do they have?
Okay, well, you should have an edge rusher in Josh Allen.
Well, you hope. I mean, you didn't see it this year, Pete.
No, but he was dinged and everything else. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You would say yes. Corner, you drafted one in the top 10. He better be.
I don't know.
He played well at times. He just has inconsistency.
I just said I don't know. I'm not ready to. Are you ready to bet? You going to bet your career on it? No.
What did he play? 7 games this year? No.
At the most.
His first game was his best. Week 1 was his best, by the way.
Okay, so which one do they have? They don't have any.
Yeah, they do.
Miles Jack. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. They have one of the 4.
But they do have some pieces. They have a big body interior. Okay, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that that Robert Saleh becomes the head coach. He probably, we don't know if he will. He can. Maybe he will. What defensive scheme does he play, and who plays on that defensive scheme?
Well, he's going to play a 4-3.
Okay.
It's going to be more of the traditional Seattle cover 3. I mean, that's where he started and came from. He plays more variations and probably does some different stuff on the back end. Right. Played more split safety stuff, but he's a base, in
that scheme, give me the down line.
I mean, I think you got Josh Allen. Hopefully you sign Leonard Williams at the 3 technique.
Okay, there's 2.
And then you play Hamilton at the 1.
Hamilton at the 1, and I think you got to sign. I'd probably sign back Dewan Smoot at the big end, or Gostis, one of those guys. I mean, you can. By the way, that big end, if you have Leonard Williams and Josh Allen, you can go find a mid-range guy.
But if you go to passing situations, then what will it be?
Well, you hope
that means that Chason has to be something, or else you have to find another one.
Well, you hope that Chason's that other edge rusher. You hope he's like D Ford or one of those guys who can come in on third down and just rush the passer like a wild man. That's what you hope.
And then if that's a scenario, then you have Schobert for another year and Jack. And Schobert will be better if he's protected by a guy like Leonard Williams and Hamilton up front. And then your corners will be Henderson and Sidney Jones.
Well, I mean, here's my concern about both those guys. Injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, part of being a good player is being available.
What about Trey Herndon as a nickel corner?
I like Trey as a nickel, and you count on him. He's dependable. He's physical.
And you need to have a good nickel corner too. You know what they could do? They could go back and re-sign Mike Hilton, who they once had to play the nickel. He's unrestricted this year.
Wouldn't that be something?
But I guess my point is, I mean, we are assuming. Let's say you don't get Leonard Williams because the Giants are going to do everything they can to try to sign him as well.
But he's from Daytona, so you have it. You know.
I'm just telling you, it's not like there's
right. I get, but you okay. You get Leonard. You don't get Leonard Williams, but you got to address that position. A couple different.
Dang right. You need to find somebody who can rush inside.
How many guys playing right now will be backups on that defensive line next year? Smoot.
They're all backups.
But how many are going to be on the roster next year, though? Is what I'm saying.
I mean, it depends how many you go get. I mean, that's a loaded question. How many can
Costin
you go get?
Costin will be on there.
Yeah, Costin will be there. Costin will be one of your big ends.
Will Taven Bryan be on there?
I don't think Taven Bryan makes the team. I bet you trade him. Somebody will give you a fourth or fifth rounder. For a former first rounder, there's a bunch of people who had him rated as a first rounder coming out. You don't think you get a fifth or sixth rounder?
Trade to the Patriots, you could get a lobster roll. If you trade him to Philly, you might get a Philly cheesesteak. Trade him to Chicago, you get a deep dish pizza. Trade him to California, you get some good tacos. I mean, come on. What are you going to get for him, Tony?
Well, somehow we got something for Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, but a backup quarterback in the room, you know how that goes.
Different. Hey,
you're not getting anything. You're not getting anything for him.
We're up against. Let's take a timeout.
But do you think he makes the team?
No, I don't think he's on the roster. No.
Let's come back. One final segment here in the first hour. Then your social questions coming up in the second hour. Plenty ahead. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet HomeLoans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie here for the best barbecue in town. That is Bono's. Head to Bono's today. 15 locations on the First Coast and 6 more at TIAA Bank Field. You see, Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You want great barbecue, you want Bono's. Plenty of parking, clean family restaurants, and oh, by the way, the best barbecue you have ever had. So if you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today, the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in-ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity. Jaguars fans, game day is back. And this year we've teamed up with Jameson to add another win to your week with official Jaguars and Jameson branded collectible stadium cups. They're only available for a limited time in the Jacksonville metro area. So grab yours today, pour a smooth Jameson, ginger and lime, and cheer on the Jags with Jameson. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof, product of Ireland, copyright 2020, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and I am proud to announce that Good Greek Moving and Storage is now the official mover of your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are making all of the right moves, and you should too. So when it's time for you to move, do it like the Jags and call the Good Greek. Simply dial ** Greek from your cell or go to goodgreek.com. That's goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, official movers of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
You know, a lot of people are upset. I'm sure people are embarrassed. There's a lot of that, but we don't let the personal feelings come into play when we have an opportunity to fix things and try to work to get better. And I think that's what this team has done an outstanding job of. Like I said before, there's no finger pointing. There's no issues. Nothing going on the practice field. No jabbing back and forth. No holding their heads down low. They're fighting their ass off, and along with the coaches, and that's something that is a credit to them.
Head coach Doug Marrone today on an audio conference. Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour. Final moments of the first hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The Jags have dropped 13 consecutive games. Now a 1-13 record. They'll host the Chicago Bears this Sunday at 1 o'clock at TIAA Bank Field. And guys, like, this scene on Sunday is going to be absolutely strange, right? I mean, that fans in the stands, it's going to be really, really odd in that stadium.
What's going to be odd, JP? How's it going to be any more odd than the Pittsburgh game or the Browns game where you had people cheering for the opposing team? You had more Steelers and Browns fans in the stadium than you did Jaguar fans. So how's that going to be any different with the Bears fans coming in?
That's an excellent point. Never thought about it like that, but I think you'll have the full or almost full support of the opposition a little more than normal, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any more. I mean, I'm curious. I guess the bigger issue to me is really how many people are going to be at the game, because typically, as of late, you've seen it being a lot of Steelers fans, Browns fans, people coming down from up north to get a little bit better weather. We didn't see as many Titans fans. They don't really travel as well. But are the Bears fans going to come down from Chicago 2 days after Christmas to come watch?
Well, there's
the
also a
game?
lot of Bears fans around the country
everywhere.
too, Tony. And then remember when they won the Super
that's
Bowl
fair.
in '85?
That's fair.
Yeah, so
I
you'll
don't
see a
disagree
lot
with
of
that.
Bears fans, because I've gone to Tampa games way back in the day, and there were always Bears fans there. So there'll be Bears fans there. You know what? It's funny you mentioned the crowd, though, JP, because I was thinking about this before. If ever there's a season to go 1-15, it's during a pandemic when you have no crowds going to the game anyway. Right? I mean, imagine if they were 1-15 in a season when you're selling tickets.
You might not be able to.
How many people would legitimately be at the Bears Jaguars game if you were selling out the entire stadium? 25,000?
Not a lot. Not a lot. To your point, the question would be, how many Bears tickets do you sell? That's where you'd be selling your tickets.
It's just, and so it worked. Look, if they don't win the next 2 weeks and end up 1-15, you got your one victory. So you can't say you're not one of those 0-16 teams, and you're still going to pick first overall. No fans, nobody moaning and groaning, and now there's a reason for excitement. There's enthusiasm.
Pete, to your point, it's actually a good point, and I hate to say when you've actually nailed something, but you have here. If you're ever going to have a really bad season and go 1-15, And if it's ever going to be like just miserable, do it when there's more miserable things going on, like the pandemic, and people are, at least not able to come and maybe more distracted and everything else. And do it on a year where there's a franchise quarterback there to pick.
You could have done it on a year when you picked Eric Fisher first overall.
Yeah, could you imagine if this was a year where there was no quarterbacks in the draft and you were 1-15? So all things considered, be positive. It's a good year.
It's a great year. It's the year that turns the franchise from being an afterthought and an also-ran and nobody paying attention to something that everybody in the country is going to pay attention to from now on.
It's never happened before.
That's a good point.
Never had the number one pick ever.
And nor has anybody paid attention to the franchise. They just haven't.
Well, they did in the 90s.
And people
in the 90s
always,
they did.
But Tony, in the 90s, it was more about,
No.
Look, they surprised some people. Yeah. They're a cool, good little story. Then in 99, they were really good, and everybody gave them. Then after that, it went off the cliff. So it really was for a 1 year, 2 year window, people paid attention. Since then, they haven't. And you guys were getting Pro Bowl votes and acclaim all over the country. There wasn't social media. It wasn't the same thing. It was never how it will be now going forward. And I always like it. People always give me crap. They say, oh, Jacksonville, terrible play. Terrible play. Really? How good was Seattle before they started winning?
That's right.
How good were they? Did people pay attention to them? Then they became relevant. Jacksonville can become relevant quickly with Trevor Lawrence.
All right, that'll do it for our first hour. We have another hour to go, including your social questions. That's coming up. We'll go around the NFL from yesterday, recap the games. We don't have to worry about the AFC South standings anymore or the not-so-powerful draft order. That's been the conversation all day long. Glad you're with us today. Second hour coming up. This is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in-ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
You won't find a better deal to keep your ride clean than Scrubble's Flexible Service Car Wash. Start in the tunnel wash and experience state-of-the-art equipment while enjoying a soapy light show. Our quality soaps and solutions keep your vehicle streak-free. Every 3-minute car wash package comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Visit us at the St. John's Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. And coming soon to Kernan and Atlantic. Trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive. Go Jags!
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Dailies, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Dailies.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't do it. I just wouldn't. I mean, never done anything in my life. I got trouble letting my kids win when they were little, and I never heard it. No.
Head coach Doug Marrone today asked if he had been either told or ever heard of anybody trying to lose the last couple of games. Welcome back. Second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Here's what's happened. The Jaguars lost yesterday. It's their 13th consecutive loss. 40-14 was the final score at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The Ravens are right there at the cut line of the AFC playoffs, and they had the big lead early and never really looked back after that. The Jaguars now 13 straight losses. That's tying the franchise worst losing skid across seasons for the last 5 games of 2012 and the first 8 of 2013. It's already extending the single-season losing skid, now 13 with 2 to go. The Jets later in the day beat the Rams, so the Jaguars are in line for the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And the way I understand it, even no matter what happens, the strength of schedule would not change if both teams
that was
lose
my
out.
question, JP. There's no chance of
What
everyone we play wins, everyone they play loses. There's no chance of flipping it.
What I understand, that's the case. So, I mean, it's minuscule. It's
in a
close.
perfect world, then, you know what would happen?
Uh-oh.
In the perfect world, the Jets would win this weekend, whoever they play, the Browns, and we would not win this weekend. I hate to say that, but just trying to be honest. It's because I really think Trevor Lawrence would be a good guy to get at quarterback. But then the last week of the season, you can go all out and just win, and there's no consequence. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great to finish the season beating the Colts, sweeping the Colts, and still keeping that first overall pick?
You know the Colts are good, right?
Doesn't really matter.
I know, but wouldn't it be more fun?
Well, I mean, nothing carries over. You're the first one who says that all the time. Doesn't carry over.
Zero carryover.
Momentum.
Yeah, like, what was it one year you guys beat the Browns at the end of the year one year?
Yeah, 95.
Yeah, and somebody said that carried over.
95, we lost 7 straight games. The last game of the year was against the Bill Belichick-led Browns.
On the road. Road.
Here, Alltel. It was Alltel Stadium.
It was Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas. It was Christmas Eve, actually. We beat them up there earlier in the year. They came down, and we beat them here. And the season was over. And let me tell you, all I remember about that game is never being happier that the season was over and I was not coming. I didn't have to be back at the facility for 2 months.
Yeah, but Coughlin I remember he tried to insist to me that it carried over the next year. And I said, well, what happened in the beginning of the season then?
No carryover.
No, I agree. What was the game? The game was up there where Vaughn Dunbar ran wild on him late in that. Wasn't that right? Up there where you beat him? Didn't you beat him up there too?
First earlier in the year, yeah.
Yeah. Vaughn Dunbar, remember him?
Yep.
So it's quite a scene around town today. Everybody reacting on social media and on talk radio and going into the coffee shop. I heard it this morning. That's all everybody's talking about is the number 1 overall pick.
You know who I really feel bad for, though, JP? Mark Brunell. He's now the other Jaguars quarterback. Mark, I know you're out there listening. I just had to take my shot at you.
Not yet.
Pete's already got him in the pride of the Jaguars. It's funny how that works.
Not till the end of not till, he's got to play at least before he's the.
I know Brunell, and he listens because he just drove off the road when I made that comment.
Trevor Lawrence is at least going to have to take one snap before he gets ahead of Brunell. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
But again, since Mark Brunell, he's the guy. This is it.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through some of the names they've tried over the years, right? Byron, that didn't work out. That didn't work out great.
Gabbert.
Yeah, Gabbert. I mean, Garrard was here. He was the guy for a while, but they didn't draft him high.
Stopgap.
Yeah.
Garrard is actually the second best of the entire group.
Yeah. They had the most success, at least, in that time frame, right?
Well, he was the second best of the group.
Yeah.
If you had to rank the quarterbacks on this team in their history, Brunell would be one. Garrard would be two.
Who's three? Is there even a three?
Jamie
Martin?
Blake got him to the AFC Championship game. Ducks.
Jamie Martin.
Didn't Blake throw? How many touchdown passes did Blake throw that one year?
Jay Fiedler. Yeah, but you can't do touchdown passes.
I know. Well, okay? Who went the further? He went further than Garrard did.
I know, but who would you rather have stood up at their prime, Garrard or Bortles?
That's why I said Garrard would be two.
Okay, I'll give you another one. Who would you rather stood up at their peaks, Jay Fiedler or Blake Bortles?
Jay Fiedler.
Okay, Jamie Martin, Blake Bortles.
Yeah, Jamie Martin wasn't that good.
Okay, let me just say, I'm giving you backup quarterbacks. Is all I'm giving you.
Rob Johnson could have been better than all those guys. It's just for some reason, I don't know what you know better than me. Why didn't it ever work out with Rob Johnson?
It worked out here. We got Fred Taylor. It worked out perfectly here.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in his career. I thought Rob Johnson had a chance to be really good. You played with him in college. What happened? Didn't love it? Didn't live it?
No, I think he loved it.
He's a coach now, isn't he?
Yeah, he loved it. It's a longer conversation for you and I to talk about.
Oh, we can't. Oh, we need. This is interesting, intriguing.
There were games where you watch Rob Johnson play and you go, "Oh my God, he's got everything you need." And you know what, Tony? With the way the game is played now, as athletic as he is, he'd have been phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rob's biggest issue is he held on to it too long. He
did. He always wanted to run.
He never wanted to throw an incomplete pass. Like, just throw it away.
Yeah, Rob would be up there as one of the better ones, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Right
relative
he started one game for us.
He was good in that game, though.
It was a really good game.
He got us Fred Taylor. There's no doubt about it. But I'm just telling you, that's the problem.
And then so who? Okay, but we're missing a group. It was Brunell, and then
Pete,
who?
Think about this. Pete, before we do this, think about this. You want to know why this organization has not been good since the 90s consistently? It's the conversation we're having right now. They haven't had a quarterback since Brunell.
Correct.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Could you imagine if the team that David was on that beat Pittsburgh in the playoff game and then lost to New England, if that team had like a Trevor Lawrence on it, that would have been a Super Bowl team. Could have been a Super Bowl team.
Well, in fairness, though, in that New England game, offense went back and forth. That was the game where Brady had one incomplete pass.
Yeah, they played zone coverage the whole time. It was like a 7-on-7 drill.
Yeah, that wasn't the offense's fault.
No, but yeah, you're right. But remember they were so big and talented up front, but they weren't great on the back end.
I know, but that was the year that New England was undefeated.
There wasn't an elite edge rusher on that team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Paul Spicer was their best pass rusher.
Yeah, and he was more of a power player than
that's right.
How about these numbers that year? 2007 for David Garrard. 2,500 yards and change, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Oh, that was one.
Yep.
But again, until Blake Bortles had the amazing year throwing touchdown passes, Brunell held the team record with 20.
Forever.
I mean, think about that.
Ever.
20 was the team record.
Is that good?
If Trevor Lawrence has a 20 touchdown season after his first one, then he's a bad pick, okay? The way the game is played today.
Wow, he's already called him a bust. You just drafted him. You put him on the wall, now you're saying he's a bust.
Look, he should be throwing 20 in his first season from there on out.
It's a different game, though, Pete.
Correct.
I was looking at through 10 games or something. Elway's numbers one year.
Yeah.
It was like He had like 2,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 17 picks, 55% completion percentage.
Could you imagine if he played in today's Marino, all of them, the way the rules are and everything, they would light it up. They would be phenomenal.
Well, because in the old days, the middle of the field was shut down because you would get killed. If you threw one of those seam routes that they throw nowadays in cover two, the dude was dead.
Well, that's why the other day somebody came, I think it was Randy Moss, came out and said, I'm the best wide receiver ever, and Terrell Owens and Jerry Rice.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you see Jerry Rice, come on, he wasn't better than Jerry Rice. But also, you go back in time. Remember Paul Warfield and guys like that? They got beat up at the line of scrimmage.
There was no illegal contact. You could beat them up all the way down the field.
Right.
Wow.
Different game.
Times change, and the Jaguars will change with it. Let's hope in a few months' time. So let's, yes.
JP, we
have to run the ball.
No. We have to. This cannot go more. I was looking the other day in the last 10 years what this team has done. It can't go forward. It can't. It's not. I mean, it's not sustainable to lose the way we've lost. And so that's why I'm like, and Pete and I used to argue about this all the time. Is I would always be the player. Every game matters. You try to win the game. I'm at the point now saying, no, go get Trevor Lawrence. You're in the position to get him. Don't screw it up. Get Trevor Lawrence. I get what Doug's saying. I get what the players are saying. God bless them. I'll root for them. They got a job to do. But as someone who covers this team and someone who loves this team, go get a quarterback. Because until you get that right, you're in trouble.
He's come over to the dark side. I brought him into the abyss. I'm so proud.
It's not the abyss. It's reality.
You're a media member now, and you've come over to the dark side. I'm 2 for 2.
I'm not a media member.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Oh, yeah, I guess I already admitted that. It's not the dark side.
Yeah.
It's the side of wanting us to win. It's all the side I'm on now. But I will say this, Pete, and I said this earlier in the first hour. Please, everyone listening to us, if you think this team is one player away, a quarterback, as great as Trevor Lawrence might be, if you think you are just that guy away from being good, you're mistaken. This team has a lot of work to do to fix the roster.
Let's come back. Social questions. Dead ahead. Plenty of
Can't
them
wait.
Today. And this will be fun. Lots to talk about. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network. Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
At ViStar, we believe in better, especially in helping build a better financial future for our members. So we've reviewed our offerings from the ground up. We've lowered or eliminated over half our fees and enhanced our already competitive rates, saving members more than $1 million this year, in addition to the millions we save them every year. If you believe that saving money is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Hey Jags fans, did you know you can ride your bike to every Jaguars home game at TIAA Bank Field and valet park it for free? That's right. Stop by our bicycle check-in tent, sponsored by Alert Today Florida, near Gate 1 at TIAA Bank Field. An on-duty ZenCog bike professional will park your bike and ensure it's secured during the game. When the game's over, return your claim ticket and pick up your bike. For cycling safety tips, visit alerttodayflorida.com. Remember, Alert Today, alive tomorrow, because safety doesn't happen by accident.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together on game days with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAABank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag Selfies for Change so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us on game days at TIAABank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour. Day after a loss to the Ravens, the Jaguars are now 1-13, 13 consecutive losses. Social questions coming up with some breaking news around the league today. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced that Kevin Green has passed away at the age of 58. This was announced just moments ago. He was a long-time player with the Rams, of course, 3 years with the Steelers, the Carolina Panthers, in the early days in Carolina, 96, 98, and 99, 160 career sacks. No word yet on the cause of death, but 58 years old. That's young for Kevin Green.
Yeah, it's shocking. And I knew Kevin, played against Kevin, and then when he was a coach, used to talk to him before the games. And great guy. Saw him at the Hall of Fame events. It's one of those things. It's one thing, we read on Twitter all the time, and especially this pandemic, where people, lose their battle, whether it's with COVID or something else, or however it ends up happening. And, human nature is when you read their age and they're older, you feel like a little bit better about it because they lived a full life. And then when you see someone at the age of Kevin Green, lose a battle to whatever happened, we're not sure yet. It hits even closer to home. And then I'll tell you guys, when you know them personally, I played against Kevin Green. We battled on the field. And I'm sitting here thinking as I was reading, I was texting Pete about 20 minutes ago, JP, when I found out about it, it's like, holy cow. What happened? So thoughts and prayers with his family and all his loved ones. And it's obviously too soon. Great player. What a great pass rusher he was. He was dominant. Not that much.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. He was a power play. He could still run. He could still get up the field. Tony, I bet you didn't match up a lot with him though. You were mostly with Greg Lloyd, right?
Yeah, Greg Lloyd and Gilden and Chad Brown. He was a left end. His whole career, right. He was a left end. Whether it was Carolina, Rams, or Pittsburgh, he was a left end.
He was tough, man. He could rush the passer. He's physical, played in the run game.
Really powerful, really strong guy.
Yeah, sad news. And 58?
Yeah.
Tony, what are you, 55?
48, Pete. Thank you very much.
By the way, I'm not on the group text. I just found that out, too. What in the world is that about?
No, it wasn't a group text. It was just something I actually saw it, JP. I saw it on Twitter about 20 minutes ago, earlier than no one was reporting it.
Oh yeah.
And I searched for it and no one was on it, but one individual was sent a tweet. My buddy of mine texted me about it. He was a big Steeler fan. And I'm like, is that true? So I actually text Pete. I said, Pete, is this true? And he said, yes.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, man. It's just sad. Way too young. And the sad thing is nowadays everybody looks to see if it was from COVID and whatever. It doesn't matter. He's too young, whatever he died of.
That's right.
Way too young.
58 years of age.
Thoughts and prayers with his family. Awful.
All right, guys, let's move along now to social questions. We put the bat signal out early in the day, every Monday, and this is the best we've come up with today. Let's start with number one, at SamIamShear13. I really enjoy your show. Merry Christmas. Do you guys think more teams should just use the kicker as the punter?
No. In fact, I was going to bring that up, but we got so into this Jets and Trevor Lawrence and everything else. I was shocked that the Jacksonville Jaguars, during a pandemic and what's going on with COVID, did not have a punter on the practice squad that they could bring up. That they would go into a game, an NFL game, with a guy who has never punted in his life at any level. He's a kicker. Just because you can kick doesn't mean you can punt.
Yeah, that's a bad decision.
It's a terrible decision. Like, why don't we have a guy? I mean, COVID is a situation where you don't know when someone's going to get it. You can get it at home. You can get it anywhere. It's not like, I don't think Logan Cook was being reckless. It just happens in today's world. It stinks. And hopefully Logan's okay. That's the most important. But why would you not have a backup at a key position that's not easy to replace?
Yeah,
that
made no sense to me.
It's a mystery. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know whose decision that is now that Dave is gone. I'd assume it's Trent Baalke and Doug Marrone, or some combination of it. But I was shocked that they did not have a backup punter.
Yeah, and no, you don't want
it didn't matter. I mean, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
But there used to be guys that did both.
Well, Logan Cook can do both.
But can he kick
in both?
In a pinch,
field goals?
in a pinch, he could kick a field goal. Yes.
Well, could he be a regulation field goal kicker? Yes or no?
I've talked to Joe DiCamillis, and he said if he worked at it, he could be a regular field goal kicker.
But remember Russell Erxleben and Steve Little and guys like that back in the day? They were drafted because they could. Erxleben went in the first round, I think, and he was drafted because he could do both. Steve Little.
Logan Cook, and I think he said it, JP, correct me if I'm wrong, he's more comfortable kicking a 50-yarder than a extra point.
Because he can just kick it, right?
Yeah, because he can just let it go. I think his is just a accuracy that he has to get some reps at it. But the point is, you don't have a guy in Rosas who can punt. Why are you counting on him to be your backup punter?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was a bad decision.
It didn't matter. I mean, but my goodness, could you imagine if that cost you the game? Where like the ball went through his hands. I mean, like he was booming 30 yarders.
Well, remember the one that went through his hands was another 30 yards on top of it after he fumbled it. So that's like 50 yards in the air.
Yeah, but my point is, it's like a 30-yard. I mean, so what? I'm not just stop.
I know.
Let's move on.
Along. We're talking about.
It's a bad roster decision. They messed that up. Period.
Question number 2, at FitJagChick. Assuming the Jags continue to be bad, what do you do with your second first-round pick after taking Trevor with the first pick? O-line, defensive tackle, safety, question mark?
It depends what you do in free agency. Yeah,
right.
Like you can't just say what you do. I mean, if you get Trent Williams at left tackle and Leonard Williams at 3 technique, like Pete was talking about, well, then I'm probably picking a tight end. The deep tight end draft. I mean, there's a lot there. You could always go back to the old, and again, it depends what you get in free agency. You could go pick the best player available. I actually think right now, with the makeup of your roster, you are in a situation where you need help everywhere. Like, tell me one position group outside of running back, because I'm not drafting a running back in the first round no matter what.
Right.
Okay, so take running back off the table. Tell me one position group you couldn't draft somebody in the first round that wouldn't help them be better.
Correct. There's not one.
There isn't one.
We've gone over this, yes.
So pick the best player.
And by the way, Miami had an undrafted running back named Ahmed from Washington rush for about 130 yesterday. Wow. They're everywhere. Don't ever draft one.
Our next question from at Paulie Dobson. Who'll be voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame first for the Jaguars, Tony Boselli or Trevor Lawrence? Come on, people. Do the right thing and vote Tony in this year.
If Tony's still waiting by the time Trevor Lawrence is eligible, I'll probably be gone. Come on.
That's a good question, though. It's funny. It's a funny question.
It is a funny question. Yeah,
Great.
Tony's getting in this year. Just all virtual.
We'll have a virtual Zoom party after the celebration.
Oh, my gosh.
Great.
That'll be appropriate too, though. It'll be the kicker
of all years.
Boselli goes in virtually.
Our next question From Noman Muhammad 1, hi guys, do you see any chance of us giving the first pick for either Dak or Herbert in return for a bunch of other picks with the deal and maybe trade down for a Wilson or Fields, or is Lawrence the done deal? Love you guys from London, #Duval.
Okay, hold on. Are you talking Justin Herbert? The Los Angeles Chargers are not trading for Justin Herbert.
No. And nor would you. Would you trade the first pick for Dak?
No,
I wouldn't.
Not with his ankle injury. I don't think I would.
I would trade for him anyways. No.
So it's like you would only do it if you wanted to de-risk the situation. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence will be better than Dak Prescott. I do. But there's risk there because he's never done it. Like, Dak is a good player.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I'm not saying
now if I was in the same scenario where I had the second pick, hey, Cowboys, you want the second pick? I'll take Dak for it.
So here's a question. So if you had the second pick, would you trade the second pick overall for Justin Herbert right now?
I might trade the first pick for Justin Herbert.
Okay, so yeah, like right now, if you had to take, that's where. And listen, I'm all in on Trevor Lawrence. There's no doubt about it. But there's always risk. I mean, first overall picks don't work out sometimes.
Right, but looking at this group and the way that group and this with the way you evaluated him come in, and you would say that Lawrence was better than Herbert coming into the
in college, yes.
Yeah.
But very few people projected Herbert being this good this fast in the NFL.
Watch
him.
Some of us did.
I liked him too, Pete. But even you would not say he was this good. No.
This is Marino-like.
Like what he did on Monday night against the Raiders, Thursday night against the Raiders was unreal.
Yeah, this is Marino-like, stepping in and just playing. That's Marino-like. There are a few guys that can flick the wrist and make those throws like he can make. Yeah, I agree, 100%. So, and by the way, the Chargers might not do that, but make that move.
I'll bet you right now, if you call Tom Telesco and said, "Hey, I'll give you the first overall pick for Justin Herbert," he'd be like, "Nope, no thanks, we're good."
I wouldn't either.
Our next question from @Jags1185. If you're the owner, because we know the coaches are doing everything to game plan and in their power to win, are you making an executive decision to rest and put injured starters on injured reserve in order to secure the first overall pick / a 1-15 record?
No. You can't do that if you're Shad Khan.
It doesn't.
Forget about even if it didn't matter. It's called the integrity of the game. You cannot do that. You play the game to win. As Herm Edwards said, you play the game to win.
And if James Robinson is banged up a little bit, do you sit him?
Well, how banged up?
Well, he had an ankle injury yesterday.
I'd say I would ask the trainer, can he play? Can he hurt it worse? If the trainer says, yeah, like there's a high risk, he can play, but there's issues that could linger into next year, then I'm saying I'm not playing him.
Well, you slip the trainer a little extra something in the Christmas envelope to say he can't play.
Well, you can't do that, Pete. You know that. It's
I know.
integrity.
Players want to play. There's only so many games and so many years you have to play the game. You want to play. Everybody always says that.
Him. He wants to play like no one else.
Especially a running back. He only has so many games in him. You want to play.
And you don't go, if you're an owner of a team, try to tank. You can't in football because now you're risking people's, it's dangerous. Guys get hurt.
Plus,
I just don't think that
look
happens.
at the bright side of things. You're in such a great situation that you don't need to try and tank. It happens naturally.
Right. Yeah, see what happened yesterday. Let's move along. Our final question from @DJ Delphonic. Pete, since you were higher on Josh Allen of the Bills than anyone else in media, who would you draft if Allen and Lawrence were in the same class?
Right now, or in the same class, I'd probably take Trevor Lawrence.
Okay, I'll do it differently. Right now, you're the first overall pick. You can take Trevor Lawrence, or you can take acquire Josh Allen and assume his contract. Which one are you doing?
Well, his contract isn't that bad.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying, but he's on your team.
I'd probably take Josh Allen
over Trevor Lawrence.
I think Josh Allen's a star right now. I think
so. What I've heard you say, and I'm not saying I disagree, by the way, Pete. You would call if you're sitting here with the Jaguars before you drafted Trevor Lawrence, you would call Sean McDermott at the Buffalo Bills and say, "Hey, I'll give you the first round draft pick, my first overall pick for Josh Allen." And then if they said no, then you would call Tom Telesco with the Los Angeles Chargers, say, "Hey, Tom."
So would you, and neither one would trade him, by the way. Neither one. As good as we think Trevor Lawrence is, you're right, though. These guys are showing they can do it.
Yeah, they're good.
Right. Like Josh Allen is a different guy. You can just see it when he plays. You saw him Saturday night against the Broncos. Comes to the line of scrimmage, looks at it, sees it. You can see the confidence oozing, fires a rifle shot in there. That wasn't who he was last year or the year before. You saw the talent, but he's become a different quarterback. And that team is dangerous because he can play like that. So, yeah, I would consider that trade. But, look, if Trevor Lawrence is who you're stuck with, I can deal with that, too.
Oh, no, yeah, this is less about Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
It's about
knowing what you have.
That's right. About having, and here's the thing, what you hope is that 2 years from now, some other poor team is the worst team in the NFL and has the first overall pick, and they're looking at you and calling, "Hey, I'll trade you the first overall pick for Trevor Lawrence." And you're going, no, I'm good. I know I got my guy. There's nothing you can give me.
Would you have? I mean, there were a lot of teams that would have traded when Andrew Luck was coming out that wouldn't that had good quarterbacks that said no, though. Like, for example, when Andrew Luck was coming out, if you had asked the Lions, would you trade Matt Stafford for Andrew Luck, they probably would have said no.
That's right.
But now in hindsight, they might have said yes, right?
Well, seeing that Luck retired after 8 years, maybe not.
He wouldn't have gotten blasted like he did in Detroit either,
I mean, Matt Stafford was the first pick of the draft.
And there's a perfect example. And it's not been a bed of roses.
No, he hasn't won a playoff game yet.
No, the Lions have stunk.
But they didn't have. But he's also that was the cap was the for.
Okay, no, wrong. Here's the thing, because it's not just about getting the right quarterback. You have to get the right head coach. You got to get the right GM.
That's true.
You got to build the team the right way, and that's my whole point to everyone who's talking about this. Listen, you need the quarterback. The quarterback is the most important position. But if you don't build around him and build the right culture around him, you're not going to do anything. It'll be the same old, same old. Yeah,
but he also had his star receiver retire early. I mean, that hurt him a little bit. There's a lot of things at play. I get it, but the quarterback helps. But they were also won 9 games with how many games? Jim Caldwell won 9 games. 3 times.
They fired him.
I know, and they hired the wrong guy.
That's my point. I mean, if you look at, who have been the head coaches since Matthew Stafford's been quarterback there?
It was Caldwell.
Patricia Caldwell. Who's before Caldwell?
I'm trying to think of who it was before him.
I can't even remember. That's how impactful it was.
Was it Marty Morningwig?
No, he was way before that. That was back in the right after Steve Mariucci. Back in the Matt Miller days.
Here you go. We forgot this one. Jim Schwartz.
That's right.
Yeah. You never had the right guy. And Jim Schwartz is a very good defense coordinator, don't get me wrong. But here's a situation where you drafted the number 1 overall pick that everyone said Matthew Stafford is a stud. Can sling it, good player. And by the way, signed a second contract, made Pro Bowls, done all that. But guess what? It's not just about that guy. You need that guy, Pete.
Look at the list of coaches that they've had since 2001. Ready?
Yeah.
Well, I'll even go because interim coaches count too. Gary Moeller.
He was defensive coordinator here.
Yeah.
That was in 2000.
Marty Morningweg. Steve Mariucci. Remember, he was just cashing a check at the end.
Yep.
Dick Duran. When he was the interim coach, he was defensive coordinator at Jacksonville. Rod Marinelli.
Great defense coordinator.
Jim Schwartz.
Good defense coordinator.
Jim Caldwell.
I mean, he 9 wins.
He was in his 64 games. He was 36-28.
And they fired
Matt Patricia. So think about that. Of their coaches, 1, 2, 3 of the last 4 coaches have been defensive coaches. There's your problem.
I don't know if hiring a defensive guy is the wrong
Not
is the problem.
hire because they didn't probably vet who he's going to hire as his offensive coach.
That's the key. If you're going to go defense, that defensive head coach better have a great plan on offense. Like how?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I'm hoping if they interview as Shad Khan and they have this process when they interview coaches, like the questions you need to be asking is, regardless if you're an offense or defensive coach, tell me your plan for a young quarterback, because we are going to invest the future of this franchise in a guy named Trevor Lawrence. Granted, everything stays the same for the next 2 weeks. What is your plan? What is the plan? Who's your coordinator? What's the process? How do you handle them? How do you take the pressure? How do you limit distractions for this kid? I mean, those are the things you got to know, and you better have a plan for.
Being in Jacksonville is one way to limit distractions. That's a good thing.
Well, but here's the thing: for big, maybe national distractions, but being in a small market where they haven't had any real success, everyone's going to want a piece of them, and so you have to protect him. You have to protect him, and you don't let him do media every day. You don't let every Tom, and Joe and Sammy, have a piece of him and say, hey, I need this, I need that, come sign this, come do this. Like, you need to say, hey, let's insulate this kid. Let's protect this kid. Let's make it all about football for this kid and let him have the success, because all this other trappings will be there, and they'll even be bigger, and he'll be able to handle it when he is the man. Because
we lost JP.
I'm right here, and we're going to take a timeout.
Okay.
So we're going to go around the league when we come back. We could go all day here. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network. Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Floridians know what it means to stand together. That's why Florida Blue is committed to the people of Florida by providing health care with lower costs and higher quality. Enroll within 60 days of life-changing events, such as losing your job, to get benefits like plans as low as $0 a month and up to $500 per year towards your premiums and wellness rewards. Call 1-800-750-0164 or visit floridablue.com/care today. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Incorporated. These health benefit plans have limitations and exclusions.
Hey Jaguars fans, Jack Hanania Jr. here from Jack Hanania Chevrolet Buick GMC. Right now you can shop over 1,200 used vehicles, including over 100 certified pre-owned vehicles and vehicles starting as low as $2,000. That's right, and I guarantee you, no haggle pricing, just our best price. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, come see us in St. Augustine. Why buy from us? That's why.
Example 2007 Mazda CX-7 Sport. Stock number 701244232 plus tax, title, and fees. Vehicle subject prior to sale. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details.
Jaguars fans, game day is back. And this year we've teamed up with Jameson to add another win to your week with official Jaguars and Jameson branded collectible stadium cups. They're only available for a limited time in the Jacksonville metro area. So grab yours today, pour a smooth Jameson, ginger and lime, and cheer on the Jags with Jameson. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof, product of Ireland, copyright 2020, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York. Hey Jags fans, did you know you can ride your bike to every Jaguars home game at TIAA Bank Field and valet park it for free? That's right. Stop by our bicycle check-in tent, sponsored by Alert Today Florida, near Gate 1 at TIAA Bank Field. An on-duty ZenCog bike professional will park your bike and ensure it's secured during the game. When the game's over, return your claim ticket and pick up your bike. For cycling safety tips, visit alerttodayflorida.com. Remember, Alert Today, alive tomorrow, because safety doesn't happen by accident.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Jaguars Happy Hour is presented in part by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good.
Welcome back. Jaguars Happy Hour coming down the stretch on a Monday. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Thanks for the social questions, by the way. We appreciate those today. We put out the signal early. We got some good feedback today. A lot of conversation around the Jags, of course, today. Even after a 40-14 loss to the Ravens, the Jets, of course, knocked off the Rams. So everybody's freaking out over the number one pick. Yes, Tony.
I meant to bring this up earlier, but I'm curious. Do you have any idea why Pete Prisco is wearing a call center headset today?
It's a great question.
Because I'm using a different.
It looks like he's working at the call center or like the drive-through.
Well, no, you know what it is.
By the way, nothing wrong with either of those. Grew up doing that. I think it's great. I'm just curious. I'm trying to describe to everyone listening what the headset looks like. Why?
It's a headset because I didn't wear my earbuds because I'm connected on a different computer, so I can work on this one. See,
you got it. Okay.
I will say.
And by the way, while you're asking questions, I have another question to ask.
But you usually
I noticed the show open. No, I know the show opened today, and I noticed it said also coming up Prisco and Boselli on the show, and we've done that all year long. Is it your show and we're just appendages and add-ons or something, JP? Yeah, what the hell?
Well, he's up for the award by
It took you 15 weeks to figure it out. It's week 15. Come on.
But I know it's been happening. I thought it was like every once in a while, but every single week. Oh, coming up on the show, we're guests on the show.
No. Here's how this is. I'm basically just the narrator, and you guys are the top of the marquee. Prisco, Boselli. It's always the first line. Prisco, Boselli.
Tony, wouldn't you agree that it's kind of like the JP Shadrick show, and then Pete and Tony are also on?
Most certainly not that today. I'll say that.
Well, that's what he would like it to be, Pete. And so
can't get a word in.
He sits there and dreams and daydreams during the day, sitting at his desk.
That's what I'm dreaming of.
We're so honored to be on your show, JP.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
The Shadrick Show with Pete and Tony.
That'll bring him in. Ratings spike. Through the roof.
Although I did hear word that the first hour last week was phenomenal when it came to the ratings.
Hold on, I just got a text from 1010. They want us to do 2 more hours now of that show. It's amazing. They want to double their show every Monday.
Yeah, you guys are funny.
Let's go around the National Football League. We'll split
just
up
as long
the
as you hit him straight.
I wish I was playing. I wasn't. I really wasn't.
Hey, let's go around the NFL. We'll hit some games now. We'll take a timeout. We'll hit the rest of them and do Monday night, if that's okay with everybody.
That's good.
Hosts, is that cool?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, let's start with the Thursday night Chargers over the Raiders. We already talked about briefly that fantastic play in that game from Herbert, but a big win for the Chargers over the Raiders in overtime.
Yeah, don't you love it though? Marcus Mariota comes off the bench and he plays well, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, he should be starting somewhere." I mean, he had every opportunity to be a starter. Not very good.
I mean, he's better than a backup, but not quite good enough to be the guy. You know what I'm saying, Pete? He's like, meaning in the perfect world, he would be a great backup. Like that's the guy you want.
He's a great backup. That's what he is. Yeah.
So if he was here,
but
he'd start today.
A low-grade starter.
Well, he'd start today if he was here, right now.
Well,
God,
they got a low grade starter now in Jacksonville.
Right. Saturday, Bills over the Broncos. The Bills fans were piling into the airport to greet them upon arrival.
It's a great story because it's Buffalo, and for so long it's been, the last couple of years under Sean McDermott, they've been to the playoffs, but not to the level they are now. And what people forget, I mean, when I was in high school and college, the Bills were like one of the best teams in the AFC. I mean, they were Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, Phil Hansen. I mean, just, BB. Just go down the list of like great players. And then for so long, they were so bad. But it's a great fan base. And you saw them show up late at night. It was cool. I love it. They have a good makeup. And I think they might be the best team in the AFC that's not named the Chiefs. I mean, I think
I agree.
I think they're the best team.
By the way, the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. Going to 4 straight Super Bowls might be an accomplishment that's never, ever duplicated. You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't. I never.
No,
did
but
it, so.
Tony, they don't get the appreciation. That's almost impossible to go to 4. Nowadays, the way the league is constructed with free agency and everything, it's almost impossible to go to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Right. Well, it's almost impossible to go to 1 Super Bowl.
They were one of the great
Pete.
franchises back then. Marv Levy, the head coach, they were really good.
They were great. They were up tempo on offense before everybody else were.
K-gun. Remember the K-gun?
K-gun, loved it. But they could run it too. By the way, that celebration that the Bills had, it's because they solved their quarterback position. In Jacksonville, in 2 or 3 years, you'll be having that exact same thing. People waiting at the airport.
I hope so.
Saturday, also the Packers over the Panthers, and the Pack is in pretty good shape right now, Pete.
Yeah, they didn't play very well though. They kind of lollygagged through that game, kind of like they did against the Jaguars when they played them earlier in the year. They're one of those teams that when they play down to the competition sometimes, and that
it's the delta between the really good teams and the really bad teams isn't as big as what everyone thinks it is. I mean, they were closer. This isn't college football where it's just like show up and play. And so if you're not at your top and a team that's not quite as good as playing good football, it's going to be a close game. We've seen that this year at the Jaguars. But it was interesting because I actually turned it off, Pete, after a while because Green Bay came out and dominated early. Like it was looked like they were going to run away with it. And then I turned the game back on later because I was doing something else. My wife came home. And I'm like, what? What happened? All of a sudden, it's a close game at the end.
it's crazy. It was crazy. They just got caught in a little one of those deals where they had a lull, and the next thing they know, they looked up and there was a game.
The Falcons blew another lead, 31-27 final, Buccaneers over Atlanta, and they did it again.
I'm on this text thread, and one of them is a big Falcons fan, and he calls it falconing. This is what they do. It's falconing.
But and you should tell him on that thread that he should be happy they did falconing because now their pick will be better.
Yeah, they're like if it's like fourth pick or something like that.
Yeah.
Pete?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys over San Francisco, 41-33. Both these teams now 5-9.
Tony Pollard had a good game. Ezekiel Elliott didn't play. Tony Pollard stepped in and had a pretty good game. 2 touchdowns, rushed for about 70 yards, and caught about 60 yards of passes.
It goes back to your point, Pete, man. You got to be really careful. Not only do you not draft a running back early, you got to be careful how much you pay him too. And
correct.
Now, the flip side of that is you go look at Derrick Henry, and they're getting every dollar worth they got out of him, but he didn't sign anything near the deal that Ezekiel Elliott got, and he's a much better running back than Ezekiel.
All the guys who signed the big contracts a couple years ago, Gurley, David Johnson, Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, none of them have worked out to where they were supposed to be. None of them.
Derrick Henry has. They're getting their money's worth.
Right. He got a decent deal, but it's not like those deals.
It's not a mega deal. And the big mega deal of these years is Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, who got nothing this year because of injury. Who else signed the big deals this year? I guess those were the only 2.
But,
Kamara
and
McCaffrey
signed the deal. You got nothing out of him. So now you're another year later. You don't. Edwards-Helaire got hurt. You thought he was bad. It wasn't, but he hasn't been what they thought he would be.
Would you have paid Kamara for what he can do?
I don't think they use him enough.
Would you have signed him? I'm asking you the deal they signed him.
I wouldn't have given them the mega deal, but McCaffrey and Kamara are 2 different kind of backs, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're in space. They can play wide receiver.
All right, let's take our time out now. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the rest of the games in Week 15 and Monday Night Football coming up. This is Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3, to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented in part by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. Next Grill, everyone's invited, and Adecco. Visit AdeccoUSA.com.
We're back. Final moments of Jaguars Happy Hour on this Monday after the Jaguars lost to the Ravens. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. I should reverse that order. Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco is like a distant second, and then I'm way down third. But
what the hell are you talking about? It should be Pete Prisco, then Tony Boselli, then JP Shadrick. Get it right.
Pete, I hate to break it to you, but you're second fiddle on this show.
No. Without me, it would just be you two babbling for 2 hours.
Well, I will say, without Tony, it was better than this. I know that.
Oh, yeah, that was the highest rated hour of the year.
Huge.
We know that.
Huge.
Yeah, that's not what management said when they text me and said, please don't ever let that happen again. I said, I promise I won't.
I got text from management that said it was the best hour they've ever had.
Well, they felt sorry for you.
More Prisco is a good thing, they told me.
Yeah, okay.
And guess how many people have said that in the history of the world? 0.
Right, none.
They were just glad I was part of the JP Shadrick show for a full hour.
That's
the truth, Pete. We're just all along for the ride.
Yep.
That's not true. Let's go around the league. Let's finish it up. Colts over the Texans, 27-20. Do the Colts have enough to overtake? It's a little getting late now in the season to overtake in the division.
Yeah, but the Titans have to play. This week will decide it. The Colts play the Steelers. The Titans play the Packers on the road. That'll decide it.
You know what I think it is? I think they both win out.
You think the Titans are winning at Lambeau this week?
Yeah.
With that defense, are you kidding?
You're telling me that.
No, but Rodgers is going to throw. Rodgers.
That's fine.
Remember what the Browns did to him? That's exactly what Rodgers is going to do to him.
Here's the deal, though. Derrick Henry's going to rush for 8,000 yards against that soft Packers defense.
Yeah, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be a throw for 70 and a touchdown, and then grind. You get a touchdown, one, maybe rip one off. You get one, then you get a field goal. And next thing you know, it's 14-10. Then it's 21-10. Then it's 21-17. Then it's 28-17.
I'm not saying the Packers are not going to win that game. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if both.
You said they're both winning out.
Okay, let me reset. It wouldn't surprise me if both of them win out. Is my point.
Okay, but
I was the point I was trying to make, Pete, is I don't think it matters. I don't know if the Colts can do enough to come back because they're.
Here's the problem with the Colts. Suddenly, their defense was carrying the team, and the offense was kind of dormant. Now the offense is starting to play better, and the defense is kind of having some issues.
Well, I mean, they only give up 20 points. I mean,
QT fumbled on the hinge line. Otherwise, they go to overtime.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's no doubt about that. And I mean, the more likely scenario is that they both lose this week coming up. That the Steelers beat the Colts, and that and the Packers beat the Titans, and then next week they're both going to win because they're playing the Texans and the Jaguars. And so it's probably going to. My whole point of what I was trying to say did not do a very good job. Is I think the Titans win this division. And I think the Colts are in the wild card.
Where's the Titans-Texans game?
Stand by. I'll get that to you.
Because that could matter.
Titans are at the Texans in Houston.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'll tell you what, it's a lot tougher game to end the season than the Colts have.
Yes. But have you seen that defense? And did you see what Derrick Henry did to him the first time he played?
I agree. But Watson can throw it around a little bit, and that defense is terrible for the Titans.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. I think both of them. I think the Titans. Let me stop here because we've unpacked this enough. I think the Titans win the division. That's all.
Okay. I think the Colts win the division.
All right. Fair enough.
2 weeks ago, we'll find out. The Titans, of course, beat the Lions 46-25. The Dolphins over the Patriots, and the Patriots are out of the playoffs.
They were out of the playoffs weeks ago. No one wanted to
I said this yesterday on our show. Bill Belichick, the coach, has done a good job with this team. Bill Belichick, the personnel guy, has done an awful job with this team. They stink.
Bad roster. And what happened to Cam Newton? He's done.
He's finished. They should play Stidham this week, and they're talking about it.
The Jets. I'll bet you the Jets beat them last week of the year.
Maybe.
That would be good.
I thought he would lay down in the last week of the year if he had to, but he doesn't have to yet right now.
Bears over the Vikes, 33-27. The Bears still need all these games down the stretch too.
Well, they need to win their last two, and if there's a tie and three teams are tied, I think they get the tiebreaker. If the Rams, Bears, and Cardinals, I think, are tied, I think the Bears get the tiebreaker over the Rams, believe it or not. So Bears are still alive. Trubisky's playing much better, which begs the question, why the hell did they trade for Nick Foles?
Thanks, Bears.
I was surprised that the Vikings lost with Dalvin Cook going over 100 yards. Usually when he goes over 100 yards, they win. I think he had like 129, 130.
They couldn't stop him.
But the Bears still won.
Yeah, couldn't stop him.
Seahawks over Washington 20-15. The Cardinals beat the Eagles 33-26.
Jalen Hurts was pretty good in that game, by the way.
Yes, he was.
And go back to the Washington football team. Watch out for that team in the future. Really good defensive front. Del Rio's done a good job. They are a pain in the rear end to block. And if they can get something going on offense in the future, they got a chance. That's what I said. We got to get something going on offense.
If they don't get a quarterback, they're like the Jaguars when they had all those good guys playing on their defensive line.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Chiefs keep finding a way. They beat the Saints, and the Browns are amazingly good. 20-6.
Kevin Stefanski might be the coach of the year.
It's fair. He's got an argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that Browns team was terrible last year, and he turned it around, and they're playing well. They should beat the Jets this week. Then they play the Steelers in the final week of the season. I mean, he's done a great job with that team. They're tough. And, Tony, go back to what you say all the time. Fix that line, and you're going to be darn good on offense.
That
line might be the best line in football.
It is the best line in football.
They're really good.
Monday Night Football. It's a battle on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium. The 2-10-1 Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow. They'll entertain the 11-2 and suddenly normal Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got tonight in Cincy in the AFC North?
Bad Monday night game. It's
bad game. So. Bad game. Take the Steelers are going to dominate this game. It's a perfect chance for them to get their offense down the field better. They haven't been driving the ball down the field. They haven't been running. No James Conner, but they'll run the ball tonight. They win big.
This would be interesting if Joe Burrow wasn't hurt, but it's not.
Last time they played him, they sacked him 4 times and just abused him. TJ Watt against Bobby Hart. Keep an eye on that. That should be fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's a fair fight.
All right, guys. Tony, Pete, will have a great week.
Happy holidays, fellas. Have a good Christmas and everything else.
Merry
And
Christmas.
by the way, Jacksonville, no matter what you get under your tree this year, it ain't better than what you got yesterday.
Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco, our entire crew, Joe Fortunato, Brent Raver, I'm JP Shadrick. We'll catch you next time. Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.